Right, I'm having to use my different camera because the memory's full on the other one. So we've got the BH Cosmetics Amalfi palette as well. I'll show you that. So I've already showed you that, so I don't need to show you that one again. This one is absolutely stunning. It's going nowhere. So we've got that. And the reason doing this drawer is because I need to rank them still. And then we've got the Saints, Angels and Sinners Earth Baby palette, and this one's beautiful as well, and this one isn't going anywhere either. So I think all the drawers are accounted for. I think the only one I've not shown is the Natasha Denona Glam Face palette, but I'll show that when I show you all the Natasha Denona palettes I've got. So all these drawers here, like 1, 2, 3 drawers of the palettes that I really like to keep over here. I don't know, once maybe I've kind of decluttered, I might put them back in a drawer, but for now they go here, 1, 2, 3, and then obviously this is for ranking. Okay, so I've got 2 bigger palettes of Plouise's, and then it's the first drawer in my chest of drawers, and also it's the higher end. So I think I'll do the higher end first, and then take you through my chest of drawers, and we'll just see what I have, if there's anything else that I can declutter. This is a beautiful palette, Plouise If the Crown Fits. So it's like a 2-layered, it's not like it is a 2-layered. That black absolutely smashed to pieces. I've really not used like the first layer that much, just purely because it's a hot mess, but I need to use it, you know, I want to keep it. And then this is like peaches here. Let me just open it up. Right, so this part just comes out if I can get it out. Ugh. So it looks like that. I have used this, not as much as I would have liked. I think I used it for a couple of videos, like the peachy leaning shade, so Happy Ending and Mythical. But yeah, I really do like it. Like I said, I need to use the top layer of the palette. Now it's getting it on when I've got you on my hand. Okay, and then we've got the Plouise Worldie palette. I love this. Oh, it used to, oh. Small things impress me, sorry. So yeah, this goes all over the place. And then, I've not used it. I don't know if it's my colour story. I've only swatched it. I wouldn't mind doing a look with the khaki shades here, but other than that, do I really want to keep it? I wish I knew someone in the UK who'd use this, because it cost a fortune. I got it out of a mystery box. I feel like it's not to everyone's taste, is it? Really, because it's bright. Like I said, neutralish shades are here, and I'd wear them, I think, but how often would I wear them? In my opinion, it's just my opinion, it does look a lot better. I mean, look at all that room there. Not for anything. I mean, I would really like to put this, what I keep of this, into that second drawer I've got. I probably always have to have these here. Needs a good clean and a good dust. We need to be testing these out. But yeah, it looks better. George is the palette keeper over there. So yeah, let's go and have a look at my Natasha Denona ones now. Okay, so we've got the Natasha Denona Glam Face palette. So excuse the reflect. Let me open it up. Okay, so it's this beautiful, it's so beautiful. It's stunning to actually take on the go with you wherever you go. It's a really nice travel palette. I'm not too sure about this cream blush, got to admit, but the rest of the palette I absolutely love. These eyeshadows here, especially Inner Glow and Outer Corner, are absolutely stunning. I don't use this for Outer Corner. Maybe I should do a look that way one day. I don't see this as a glam palette. You can get a glam look, yes you can. So when I think of Natasha Denona Glam, I think of Natasha Denona Glam palette, and they're all like really, really cool tones, aren't they? And I'm just looking at the vanity now, and I've just seen 2 Morphe palettes. So I'm going to show you them before I go back to the Natasha Denona. But yeah, this is this one here. Absolutely love it. And that one just goes back in here, so I'll put it back there now. So the Morphe Mickey and Friends Truth Be Bold, I really, really wanted this when it came out, and I bought it myself for my birthday. There's just not enough shimmers in it for my liking at all, and it barely gets used. I could definitely declutter this. But again, it's like the Worldie palette by Plouise. Who would want it? You know, I'd want it to go to a good home because obviously it's Disney. I could keep it around because it's Disney, but it's just clutter, isn't it? Then we've got the Morphe, what's this one called? 35M. I think this one will be staying. I really like this. Oh, look at it for autumn though, guys. Oh, it's stunning. I love the greens. I love the oranges. Not so mad keen on the purples like this here, but I bet you could use that as a quad, well, a quintet with that purple there. So yeah, I mean, you could definitely like get quads out of this and quintets. So yeah, definitely keeping that one. Not too sure on the Disney Mickey and Friends. If I can find it a good home, someone can have it. If not, it'll stay in the collection and just be a centerpiece. So they just go there. Let's go over to my higher end collection now. Sorry, I've got a couple of Natasha Denona ones here. So this one's Project Pan. So this Natasha Denona Mini Retro is Project Pan. As you can see, I've hit pan in that shade there. And then I'll just keep this in there as well, because that neutral brown's really nice, so I can pair them together if I want to. So yeah, I'm not too sure whether I want to keep or declutter it just because of that blue brown shade. It doesn't always work out for me, but that's 2 minis there that I've got. I've got some more, but that's what they've got here. And also, I best show you this Pat McGrath Labs one I've got over here, because I'll forget otherwise. We've got the Bridgerton Diamond of the First Water, which is absolutely stunning, isn't it? I put this in my That's Expensive project pan for the month, so I need to start using this soon. I've done one look within a live where I classed it as a Bridgerton kind of live, but that's all I've done, and I want to do a look with this shade and this shade, maybe this in the outer V. I've not done that yet. I mean, I have done that kind of look, I think, like when I've used it initially, but yeah, I mean, I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful palette. Quite surprised Pat McGrath Labs didn't come out with another one for this season. I probably would have liked that, considering it's Penelope's season. But yeah, I really, really adore that. That blue sparkly shade especially is my favourite. It makes a really nice topper. But that's that, and the packaging is stunning, is it not? Right, so I think I'm going to do this, then take a little break and come back later on this evening, because I've got a live to do in an hour, and also I've got some dinner to make, and I've not done that yet. So I've got this Pat McGrath Labs here because it won't fit. Pat McGrath Labs are just here. I will show you them. I'll probably show you them later on. So Pat McGrath Labs, this one was the first ever one I bought, and people were complaining about the packaging. I actually really like it. It's the Ecstasy Sublime. I wish I'd have got that colourful one they brought out as well. So that's what it looks like. It's got some beautiful golds in it. So that's that. This one I feel like I can easily pass on Morphe too, because I've got golds like this. Again, barely used. What is this? Easy Blend, Limitless Looks. That's not it, is it? Oh, it's in the shade Malibu. And Morphe eyeshadows aren't bad. This is from the Morphe 2 range. So packaging looks like that. And then they're the beautiful shades. Very stunning. Right, we've got a couple more Pat McGrath Labs here. So we've got this one. We've got the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership Sublime Seduction. Do I want to keep it? I was just about to say, do I want to keep it? I don't really know, but I think I do. I mean, look at that. It's warm toned. So stunning. Then I've got Pat McGrath Labs Rose Decadance. Oh, this is so stunning. Look how stunning it is. That pink shade, the top right, is a duochrome. It's so pretty. So that's going nowhere. I just need to use the palettes more. And for me to use these palettes, guys, I need to do quite a big declutter. I don't think I'm going to be doing as big a declutter as what I've got in my head. I mean, I'd love to just have 50 palettes, me. That's not going to happen. We've got the Mercury Retrograde Huda Beauty. This is stunning. I'm hitting pan on things now. Once I've used this, would I want to repurchase it? If I could repurchase it, probably not. I'd probably just concentrate on using the eyeshadow palettes within my collection. We've got the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz. Naomi got me this, I want to say, not the birthday just gone, the birthday before. It is stunning, and I'm just not using it. So again, I want to use this more, because otherwise it's just going to go bad. You saw that Sigma Rosy palette, didn't you? Right, and these are Huda Beauty here as well, so I may as well show you these. Right, so we've got, I put this at the beginning because I thought I was going to be pulling it for the That's Expensive project pan, but so I pulled Bridgerton out instead, because Bridgerton's actually on Netflix. Not that I've watched it, guys, so no spoilers in the comments. But the Huda Beauty Neon, is it just neon green? Well, that's what we'll call it. That's what we'll refer it as. This is just absolutely stunning. Look at all those shifty shades there. So I'll try and point to them here, 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 here. That lime green up at the top isn't as shifty, but this is a stunning palette. Loves it. Then we've got this neon orange. I don't like this as much, and they brought out a neon pink, and W7 have actually duped this. So if you want something similar, I guess you could take to eBay and see what they've got. So this one's barely been used. I do like it. It's really nice for summer. And this one, you're getting less shimmers in than the other one. But I don't like it as much as neon green. If I wanted to pass on one of them, it would probably be this one. But I feel like I'm going to keep it. Now, this is one of my favourite Huda Beauty palettes. It's the Huda Beauty Wild Jaguar. Look at that, it's so cool toned. I absolutely think that is stunning. Yeah, that's going nowhere. I don't think any of these Huda Beauty palettes are. I do really love the £9. The £9 are what got me started on Huda Beauty. So that's that one. Right, so we've got the Huda Beauty Caramel Brown. It's not my favourite, I don't think, and neither is the Toffee Brown, which is coming up. My mum got me these, so I won't get rid of them, but yeah, I mean, it's nice to have them in the collection, so let me show you. Oh, this one is quite nice. It's got the oranges in it. It must be the other one that I don't like as much because it's much darker, so that one looks like that. Yeah, the chocolate brown. It must be this one. Again, is it the worst palette? No, I really like those golds, but when it comes to those two shades up at the top, I'm not mad keen on them. But yeah, I will be keeping it because my mum got it for me. So the Toffee Brown one was the first one I bought, and I absolutely love this one. You guys that know me know this will be me with it having yellows in it. When was the last time I did a yellow look? I'm not even sure. I may do one today in a live. So I want to compare the Urban Decay Naked Honey against the Wet n Wild Call Me Sunshine. So that would create a nice yellow look if I decided to do that. By the time you see this, if I do that, it will be in a live. Then we've got the slightly older ones that came in the older packaging. When I say older packaging, I mean cardboard packaging. So this is the Huda Beauty Gemstone Obsessions. So that's what that looks like. Oh my gosh, it's stunning. I don't even mind that all of the eyeshadows are shimmers because it's stunning. Again, another older one is the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions. And again, so stunning, very me, definitely keeping. And we've got the Huda Beauty Emerald Obsessions. Oh, look at that, guys. Definitely keeping that. What I need to do more, and I say this, is use it more. Especially this green one here, because I've had it quite a long time. Then I've got the Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions, which has been decluttered from my collection, but it is absolutely stunning, especially that last shade, that last shimmer on the third row. I mean, if I was going to keep it, it would be for that shade. The mattes are really nice as well. It's just because it's just got 2 shimmers. It's not enough for me, and I don't want to keep it around my collection because of that. And not only that, that last shimmer, I've got shades like that in my Plouise palettes. Then this was the first ever palette I got of the £9, so it's the Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions. It's very bright. What you've got to think about is, are you going to use it? Am I going to use it? And the answer to that is probably no. But yeah, it's very bright, very nice. So that's all my £9, I think. Right, so I've got this Jason Wu Agave palette. I'm not going to open it up. Flora, what's it called? Flora Agave matte palette. So all full of mattes. I won it in a giveaway, and I didn't think this would be the kind of eyeshadow palette that I'd like, because it is full of mattes. They deepen as they go along, which is really nice. I'm using my Makeup Geek singles at the moment, but definitely next year I think I'll try and pan this. Then I've got this Anastasia one. I honestly don't know what it's called. I'm sure I could Google it, but they don't put it on the back of the palette, which is stupid. I absolutely love it though. I love those 2 shimmers. The mattes are really nice as well, so I'll keep that one. Some more Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes are coming up. I think it's Natasha Denona, and then I've got Pat Mcgrath. Then I need to go into the drawer, so I might do the Pat Mcgrath Labs as well. We'll see. So this one is the Mini Pastel palette. I don't like this as much as I like the Midi Pastel palette, but I feel like this would be a great combination palette, which I'm going to be using this summer with it, just to test it out. Amy sent me this, which was really nice of her. Then I've got the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. I do feel like if I could get rid of any, it would be this one out of the minis I've got. And maybe that mini star, because it's expiring, but this one isn't. This one is probably one of my newest ones, apart from the Mini Pastel. So it's just, I don't know. I don't even know what the issue is with it. I just could pass on it. Then Lisa bought me this, which is really pretty. It's not going anywhere. It's the Natasha Denona Mini Gold. So the bigger palettes, this is definitely my newest. So the middies. Naomi bought me the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I wanted this for so long. I wanted it on release, and then it was way out of my price range. Let's put that out there. I'm on the no buy anyway. I can't remember when she bought it me. I think maybe January. I'm not 100% sure. Naomi would be able to account for that, I guess. If she watched this video, that is. She might do, because she does like declutter videos. So if you're watching, if you can remember, just leave it in the comments. It doesn't matter anyway, does it really? But this one it's freaking stunning, guys. Yeah, loves it. Then we've got the Natasha Denona Glam palette. So let's put this down here. So this one was my first palette. You can see some shades are missing, and you'll see that in other palettes going forward, just because I made my own yucca palette up. Anyhow, this one was the first palette that I ever got, and a couple of shades came broken. I got it from Look Fantastic. Well, my mum actually wanted to get it me for Christmas, so she paid for it, and literally the outer eyelid on the bottom row and the brow bone eyelid were absolutely shattered. I'm surprised I could put any of it back together, and what they said to me is, oh, we'll give you 10% off, not like, you know, we'll give you a new palette, which I really don't like that. As so many people said, from out of the UK, oh, we'd just get a new palette in our country and we wouldn't have to send it back. It was in lockdown. That's irrelevant, isn't it? They should have just sent a new palette out in this situation, I think. Yeah, they definitely should have sent a new palette out, just because we were in lockdown, we were in a pandemic. And why would they even want it back? They asked me to send it back to them. They said, excuse me. They said, send it back and we'll send you out a replacement, or you can have a refund. Well, why would you want an eyeshadow palette that's been in somebody else's home? You don't know what that person's got. I mean, I've only ever had, you know, COVID twice now, and it wasn't around that time. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand the logic of that company. So then we've got the Natasha Denona pastel palette that my friend Karen sent to me. Love it. It is great. I normally use it in spring and I haven't this year, so we're definitely going to be pulling this out for summer. It's just because I'm testing things, that's why it's not been used yet, but I do absolutely love this. Natasha Denona Zendo. I think there's a couple of shades missing from here. Well, more than a couple. But this is what mine is looking like at the moment. I can just put those shades back. It's not an issue. But yeah, I really, really like this palette as well. It's very, very pretty. I'm saying that thing again, where I'm like, I really, really like this palette. It's not going anywhere. It's Natasha Denona. Then we've got the bronze palette. Oh, this one doesn't have any shades missing from it. How beautiful is that for this time of year though, guys? Michelle, my friend Michelle, who's a content creator on this channel as well, she actually did a look with this the other day and it was beautiful. So I'm going to try and link it. I always have trouble finding Michelle's channel. I think it's just Michelle. I'll find it and I'll link it for you guys to go and watch. If you're not already supporting her, I would really love it if you did. She's an amazing content creator and I know that she would value your support as well. So that's that one. Then we've got two more. So we've got two more of the even bigger ones and they've got shades missing as well. Like I said, I'm doing a dupe of the Yucca palette. So we've got the Natasha Denona Trio Chrome. We've got the shades that are missing for me to do the Natasha Denona Trio Chrome. Natasha Denona Yucca, and you can see just how many shades are missing. So I will put a picture up on what it's supposed to look like. I mean, for Natasha Denona fans, I know you'll know what the palette looks like, but I just wanted to show you that anyway. And then we've got the Natasha Denona Gold palette. I definitely don't need the golden. It's just, I think it's ridiculous how she's only, I mean, she's made it into a midi, which is really, really good. She's made it more affordable. Obviously, the eyeshadow sizes aren't the same. And then she's given us like 5 different shades. She's got rid of the teals. Some people might want the teals. So for me personally, I feel like it's for people that didn't get hold of this palette and want it. Because this one you can't get hold of anymore, can you not? Because she stopped selling it. I understand why she brought that midi golden. To an extent, I think it's a really, really good idea because people want it. But I was going to buy that eyeshadow palette. I thought it was a different eyeshadow palette. I didn't look into it or anything. And I watched Rebecca Morgan's channel and she said 10 shades are exactly the same out of here. So there is that. Like I said, you know, there's a lot of shades in a different palette. The Yucca palette that I made up. But this is what it looks like. It had like a really nice duochrome here. I think it was called Brass. No, Lime Chrome. And that's really, really nice. I don't think you're going to get that in the new palette. I don't think I've seen any kind of duochrome shades. But this one is a lot more expensive. It's over £100 to buy. I think they're about £120. So you've got to expect what you pay for, right? Okay, so my Pat McGrath labs are in here. So we've got the Quartz and then we've got my only Mothership. So I'm just going to show you these now. Might mean I'm running late for my live. So this one is a Utopian Dream. So let's get it all out and let's put it on the vanity. And I'll show you what we've got. So this one was the first one that I ever bought from them. No, not the first one, that plastic one at the beginning. Well, not the beginning, but the plastic one, the Sublime one, was the first one that I ever bought, and then it was this. So it's the Mcgrath Venus in Fleurs Luxe Quad in Voyeuristic Vixen. Everyone raves about this palette, and I can see why. It's just so stunning. So it looks like that. Let me see if I can get the reflect. Can you see? Right, so I'll put the mirror up again. So it looks like that, and then that top shade up at the top is a duochrome at least. It turns into like a rose pink from it being like an orange gold. It's just so pretty. Definitely need to start using this more. Then we have Celestial Divinity. I think I got this one. The reason I'm saying I think I got this one is because Amy bought me 2 of these as well. Let's just have a look. No, I think Amy got me this one. And I'm not much a lover of blue, but I really like this one. And this is the Astral Quad, which is full of like glittery, lovely toppers. I've heard people say they really don't like this and don't get on well with it. I guess it comes down to application really, but let me show you what this looks like. Can you see how glittery they are? And the camera really isn't doing it justice. That shade up at the top on the right hand side is why I buy these kind of palettes, but I'm not going to buy any more from Mcgrath Labs, I don't think, unless something really catches my eye. So this is the Astral Blitz. So those 2 pink shades are my most favourites in it. Really love it. And yeah, you're not getting any mattes, but that doesn't matter to me. I can pull in a matte palette without a problem. I do have a couple of matte palettes, not many, but yeah, I do have a couple of matte palettes that I can use. Then the last of the quads, Celestial Odyssey. I feel like this is one that I could pass up. Let me show you what this looks like. And you can tell this is older because it's got that type of writing versus that type of writing. The packaging is just different. So I think it's just the blue-brown. The other shades are absolutely fine. I like that rosy pink tone. I like this for in a corner, and I like the gold. I think it's the blue-brown. I've got a lot of that shade in my collection. I really think I should have thought more before I bought this. But yeah, I could quite easily pass this on. Saving the best till last, guys. Sorry it's like this in the frame. So this is the Mcgrath Labs Mothership Utopian Dream. So I'll show you what this one looks like. Right, so I wanted it for those 4 shades there, the sparkly shades. So, I mean, it is stunning. The palette is stunning. The quality's there. I understand that not many people want to pay these kind of prices. My mum bought me this for birthday and Christmas because my birthday's in February and obviously Christmas is in December. She bought it me a couple of years ago. And I think she paid £83 for it versus £125 or whatever it is now. So yeah, I really do like it. I'm glad I've got it. I just need to use it more because I would be so disappointed if I found mould in this anywhere. So that's all my Mcgrath Labs. So what have we got? 4, 5, 6 Mcgrath Labs palettes. There's one I could easily get rid of. Will I get rid of it? I'm not too sure, guys, to be honest. This plastic is very weighty. Could knock someone out with this. Not that I ever will, but you could. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it here for now, and then I'll come back and we'll do the drawer. So the drawer that I'm going to be going through, it might not even be a declutter. It might just be a case of, oh, I really love this palette, and I'm sorry about that, but I feel like there's at least 1 or 2 in there that I could pass on as well. Don't know what the number is at the moment, but I know that I've got rid of quite a few already, and I'm really pleased. Right, so I forgot to show you all this earlier. Like, most of these are in a different palette, like a magnetic palette, which you'll see once I get over to that drawer. I think it's going to have to be in a separate video because this is coming up for like 40 minutes now. So I'm going to go through all of my Colourpop. You've seen the other Colourpop palettes that I've got, so let's just go through all of this now. Right, so these are my monochromatic, for the most part, monochromatic 9 pans. We've got some more 9 pans up there as well, but they're Disney. Right, so let's put that to the side. So we've got the Colourpop Hair Honey, and I've not used this in such a long time. Some shades are missing from it. as per the usual. I feel like I should just put all of these shades into a magnetic palette. What do you think, guys? And then I won't need these. I'll probably just keep one or two just in case I want to use them as travel palettes. So then we've got Just My Look, which is the green. This one's just got one shade missing from it, which could be anywhere. That 50-50 shade. Yeah. And that Mary Jane shade isn't right. You know, because I really loved Mary Jane. So that's not right. So this palette is mixed basically, so just ignore it. It's not how it comes. But yeah, that's my Just My Look palette. Then we've got Meant to Be. This is also going to have eyeshadows that are not meant to be in there, no doubt. Yeah. So ignore. I don't know why I'm even showing them to you then in this case. So that's mine there. It's got some pretty shades at the bottom there. Then I've got the Aura Now. But I think all those shades actually are in a magnetic palette. We've just got the glitters here. I'm going to keep it around, and I think I'm going to put all my glitters in this palette that I've got. We've got Baby Got Peach. I think I'll remove that glitter there and put it in the Aura Now palette. So that's what that looks like. Again, it might not look like it did when it first came to me. It's definitely got one shade missing. Then we've got Miss Bliss. Nothing in there, so that's just a spare palette basically. Then we've got Lilac You A Lot. I think most of the shades are still in this. Are they? No, there's a few shades missing, but it's still really, really pretty. I'm getting the impression for the ones that are not full palettes just to kind of mix it up in magnetic palettes. This one though, Coast to Coral, I don't think I ever pulled this apart. No, it's still as it comes. This needs to come out soon. Isn't that just stunning? Especially those shimmers. Yeah. I mean, I could probably get rid of the peach palette and just keep Coast to Coral. Then we've got Making Mauves. That's only got 2 shades left in it. The other shades are elsewhere. Then we've got this Blush Crush one that my friend got for me. Karen got it for me. And that looks like that. So it's got one shade missing in the middle. And I don't think this is as it comes. I'm sure that shade there, Enamoured, isn't in this palette. But I'm always mixing and matching. And then we've got Going Coconuts. So I did do a dupe palette of the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude. And these shades were in that. So I put them back here. I do want to get the Colourpop That's Tall. I've wanted that for ages. So I feel like that's the only palette I'm going to be getting once Black Friday comes. If they still sell it on eBay. If they don't, I won't buy it. I'm not going to buy it from Colourpop. I don't even know if they still sell it on Colourpop. So that's all the palettes there. I'm just going to get the other ones and show you them. Right, so these are the rest of the Disney palettes and some other ones. I mean, come on. Even if you don't like Disney, you've got to appreciate the packaging of that. And then that's what that looks like. It's got some beautiful greens, a couple of beautiful neutrals. I need to use it soon. Do you see what I mean? Do you see the dilemma I've got? Because obviously, you know, I've got so many palettes in my collection, they're just not being used. And like I said, I would love to get it down to 50, but there's just no chance of me getting it down to 50. I think if all these shades were in the Colourpop palettes like I've just shown you, I think I've got about 30, 35. And yeah, I just want to see what I want to do in this middle drawer that I'm going to show you in a second. Colourpop The Child Star Wars Mandalorian palette. Oh, we've got a lot of shades missing from here. It would probably be more beneficial to put all these in a magnetic palette. So that's what that looks like. But I want to keep the palette. It's so cute. I want to keep the palette. I might just have to like put some shades in here. I'll look at the original, what it came like. I might not be able to put the exact shades in. Just put in some similar shades and then we can use it. Right guys, so this is the worst palette. Not for packaging. For packaging, she's beautiful. But for formula, this is the worst palette that I've tried by Colourpop. But I'll probably keep it just for the packaging. So this is what it looks like. Some of the shades aren't too bad. Like that white up there, like the duochrome. That's not too bad. And I don't think... Like, so the top row, I don't think it was too bad. Pink, I don't think that was too bad. It's when it gets to those rosy tones. And I think what's in that there is just glitter. So just pay no attention to that. I think I'll remove that glitter as well and put it in the glitter palette that I'm going to create. So my sister got me this a couple of years ago in the Limelight. It's just pretty much like the Colourpop Tinkerbell palette. Let me show you. I mean, it's got a lot of beautiful greens in it. It really is stunning. It's not going anywhere. I don't think any of these Colourpop palettes are going anywhere, to be honest. Because like I said, I've put a lot of the shades in a magnetic palette, which you will see in a little while. I just want to put this clip into the video that I've already done. And I want to see how long it is. Now, I feel like an hour videos for declutters is more than enough, even if you have to split it into 3 sections. So it might be part 1, part 2 and part 3. But then you obviously getting a real close-up of my collection and you can see what I've got, what I'm decluttering. So I hope you don't mind that I've done it this way. Let me know for next time what you would prefer. Would you prefer one really long one? I don't even know if my phone storage would hold that anyway. On my newer phone, it said that the storage was full, so I could only do 50 minutes. Would you prefer one really long one, or do you like it broken into like an hour videos like these are? I'd just love to know your thoughts, guys. Then we've got the Colourpop High Tide. My friend Karen got this for me. I feel like I should use it more. I feel like I might like these kind of tones more than I did when I did the review. Must say looks beautiful. So yeah, I feel like I should do a look with that, or several looks. But I just want to use the newer eyeshadow palettes to the collection and test them out. Then we've got this Colourpop Grandeur palette. I love the packaging of that. All floral. And it's very, very grungy, very unlike me. Can you see how it's got that nude shade there? That blue-brown, which is very, very comparable to the one in the Pat McGrath Labs palette I showed you earlier. I've got a lot of that kind of shade running through my collection. So this is why I was saying, you know, I don't necessarily need to keep that Pat McGrath Lab quad. I don't know if I'm going to get rid of it, but it is kind of on the chopping block, I guess you would say. So that's that one. And then we've got some bigger ones. I think they're £12, aren't they? Let's just go and get them. Another Disney one here, the Lizzie McGuire one. I remember when I first got this, I really didn't like that packaging. I liked this bit up until that. I'm terrible, aren't I? I've come around to it now, guys. So that's the Disney Lizzie McGuire. Let me open it up for you. I mean, it's cute. There's no denying it's cute. I've come around to it now. Oh, this one's... I've not taken any of the shades out of this. This is a great spring-summer palette. I actually love Dear Diary. That green shade there. It's beautiful. Beautiful. So we need to use this in the summer months. Right, so we all know I love this Colourpop Good as Gold. Because I did a look in a live and referred to it as a good dupe for the golden palette. I didn't even need to do that. If I would have looked into the shades that came into the golden palette, we could have done that with my shades, at least 10 shades of them out of the 15 that I've got from my Natasha Denona Gold. I think I'm going to do that still. Not too sure when. It'll be done in a live, but how beautiful is that? That is absolutely stunning. So I don't think any of the shades have changed in that either. Then we've got the Boudoir Noir. And I also used this as well in that same live. I kind of mixed and matched colours, because I just wanted to do a look with colours that look the same when Natasha Denona swatched them. Let me get into this. Right, so pretty much most of the bottom row is missing. We've only got one shade there. Again, they could be anywhere at this point. Note to self, when you're removing shadows, write them down somewhere. But yeah, I do like the way this palette looks. I can just put 3 other shades in there that go with a colour story, I guess, or just look at the Boudoir Noir online and see if I can find them. So that's that. Then we've got the Colourpop Flutterby. This isn't how it came. So what was that palette before? Making Mauves. Most of the, like, not most of them, but some of the shades are in here. This is my own like version of how I'd like my rosy toned eyeshadow palette to look. I think it looks nice. Again, there's 2 shades missing from here. So that's that one. And then Wild Nothing is this one here. We've got 3 glitters running down the centre there, which I could probably take out, but I think I'll leave them in. This isn't obviously how it came. I didn't like how it came. It was very, like, there was no pigment to it. There was no pigment to the eyeshadow. Everyone, like, seems to like this. It's either, like, people will like it or people will hate it. I didn't hate it and I didn't like it. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle with it, but that's that. And then the Menage a Moi. I don't think there's anything in this. Yeah, nothing in it. I think this would make a good travel palette, so I'm keeping it around for that aspect. I can make my own palette with this, which I think is good. Like I said, you'll see the other Colourpop singles when I get to them